الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna alhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi wa ala mawala amma ba'd. With the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll start the third session of our series, Revising Ramadan. Before we move forward, I'd like to just recall what we have done last week, because that is linked to today's series as well, inshallah. So we mentioned about the conditions of fasting, and also we mentioned about pillars of fasting, and then what breaks your fast and what does not break your fast. So these were what breaks your fast. We did till that time, and then today we'll do what does not break the fast, inshallah. So among the conditions, we mentioned two conditions of the fast. So what were the two conditions of the fasting? Who want to be a volunteer?
Intention. Niyya.
Yeah, one was intention. Very good. Al-imsak. Okay, he's saying like fasting, so holding. Sorry? Yeah. Yes, very good. Okay. Tahara. The first one was tahara, purification for the sisters, especially. It was from their menstruation period or post-pregnancy bleeding. So tahara, the first one, and the second one was intention. Okay. And when we come to the intention, we mentioned about four things. In intention, there should be four things, especially concerning to fasting. Anybody? Al-Jazm, sisters are ahead, mashallah. Okay, Al-Jazm. So in intention, you are making your firm belief that you are fasting. So this is Al-Jazm. Yes, next. At-Ta'yin. Yes, At-Ta'yin. Very good. Okay. At-Ta'yin. So that is about which fast you are fasting. Ramadan or willingly fast or what. So this is the Ta'yin. Yes, the third one. Yes. That was right. At-Tabid. So making intention before the fasting starts. Before the fasting starts. Okay, and the last and final one was?
Intention, like reading the intention every night.
Yeah, so making for every night intention. Some of the scholars said you can make for whole Ramadan at once, but the most correct opinion is every night you make the intention. Night means before you begin the fast, so you will make, so you revise. So these four things in the intentions. Okay, so that was very good, mashallah. Let's move forward. Arkanus Siyam. So the pillars of fasting. What were the pillars of fasting? The brother has answered. That al-imsak. Al-imsak means?
Don't eat or drink.
Yes, don't eat, don't drink, and no marital relationship. Okay, so these three things. Yes. Okay, so that was the rukun. That was the pillars. Okay, so imsak means you holding yourself back from food, drink, and marital relationship. Okay. And we mentioned many of the sunan of Psalm, the recommendations of the Psalm, the sunnah of the Prophet in the Psalm. So few of them from the sisters coming very fast. So any brothers?
Eating suhoor.
Eating suhoor, very good.
Delaying suhoor.
Delaying suhoor until the time ends. Yes.
Breaking fast.
Yeah, breaking fast.
On time.
As soon as sun sets, breaking fast. Very good.
Half days and water.
Yeah, with the dates and water. Okay.
Half date as suhoor.
Yeah, okay. Suhoor, the best suhoor is the dates. Yes, this is another one.
Make dua during iftar.
Sorry, make?
Dua during
Yes, dua at the time of iftar. This is another sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Yes.
and sit with the family and then recite Quran.
Yes, learning and teaching the Quran during that time, because the Prophet ﷺ used to read to Jibreel alayhi salatu salam. So yes, very good.
And then one will avoid bad things.
About?
avoid bad things, foolish
Okay, yeah, avoiding bad things, foolish language, foolish behavior. So the Prophet ﷺ said, those who do not leave this behavior and language, Allah is not in need of their leaving food and drink. Yes.
Giving charity?
Yeah, another one was giving charity, al-Jud. The Prophet ﷺ, when he meet Jibreel Islam to learn and teach the Quran, he was like swift wind. He will benefit everybody, so he'll give a lot for the sake of Allah. And one more, if somebody fight or argue, you would say, I'm fasting, and you avoid the whole situation. So this was few of the sunan of the Prophet, sunan about the fasting from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, what are the things which breaks your fast?
eating more.
Yes, eating and drinking willingly, intentionally. Yes, willingly. Okay, with intention. Okay. Bleeding will break the fast. It will come to today, inshallah. We'll talk about it today. Okay. So eating and drinking. Yeah, vomiting. Vomiting. Yes. The brother mixed up with vomiting and yes, sister.
Not saying purposely vomiting.
Yeah, purposefully vomiting. Yes, that was the third one. Yeah, the fourth was menstruation bleeding or post-pregnancy bleeding. Yes. So this was and then. Yeah, we spoke about marital relationship. That will marital relationship. Okay. And what else?
When you make
Intention. Yes, intention of breaking the fast. Just by making intention, the fast is gone. And another one.
excuses for
Yeah, we spoke about menstruation period, yes, haid, yeah. Another one was istimna, that is masturbating. That's also break the fast, okay. So these were the things which we said, they all break the fast. And in this one we have said, all of them you have to make the fast another day, except for marital relationship. For marital relationship, we learn the story about not only you have to fast, but he has to give kafara as well. Okay, and kafara is letting the slave free, or fasting 2 months constantly, or feeding 60 people. Okay, so this is what we did in the last week. So jazakumullah khair. It was good revision for all of us. And today we can finish the dars in 45 minutes, or we can go till Isha. If we go till Isha, then we can finish the topic of fasting, inshallah. So are you happy to be here till Isha? Inshallah. So majority with us, inshallah. Okay, good. Okay. So inshallah we'll have the full reward of staying in the masjid, learning. So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first of all, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Sallat alayhimul malaika, that when the people sit in the study circles where you learn about Islam, learn about Quran, learn about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the angels send the blessings upon them, and they cover them with the mercy, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send the tranquility upon them. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to count all of us among them. So with these pure intentions, we will start over this, inshallah. So today's dars is umur la tufsidu siyam, those things which does not break your fasting. Those things which does not break the fasting. The first thing is, if somebody wakes up in the morning and he had to take the shower, obligatory shower. The obligatory shower, when we are saying about obligatory shower, so either he woke up and he had a wet dream, he or she had a wet dream, or they had a marital relationship in the night. So they woke up and then very little time left for the suhoor to end. So what he will do, he'll go and take bath and then come and eat. By that time the time will finish. So what he'll do, he'll straight away eat first. Eat suhoor first. When the time, when you finish suhoor, then you can go, you can take shower, and then you can pray, inshallah. So you can enter into the fasting even you are not on the tahara from sexual relationship or wet dream. Does it make sense? You need the shower. Okay, so you can enter it. So you can eat first and then you can. So that will not affect your fast. Does it make sense? So inshallah. So this is the first thing. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Salma radiyallahu ta'ala anha and Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha, they said, Anna Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam kana yudrikuhu al-fajr. So the Fajr time comes to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa huwa junub. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the status of the junub, that he needed to take the shower, okay? Min ahlihi, thumma yaghtasil wa yasum. So he was like in the status of junub, and then the Fajr time comes, then he takes shower and then he prays. So this is from the sunnah of the Prophet. Does it make sense?
They talk just about a wet dream or about a marital relationship?
Both. So for this both, the obligatory bath is there for both of them. So the bath becomes obligatory. When we say bath, it could be shower. So it's making your whole body wet. All the hair of the body have to be wet. So there should be a rub on the whole body, inshallah. Okay. Is it clear? Let's take another thing which does not break your fast, and that is in the daytime while you are fasting, if you kiss your wife or if you sleep with her without sexual relationship, we just sleep with her, does not break the fast. A lot of people culturally have a lot of issues with this one, and the issue is, the big thing is, when these sort of things come, people don't speak, people feel shy. Subhanallah, when we are learning and teaching Islamic matters, you should not feel shy. With this one, what is halal for you, you will miss it, or sometimes what is haram for you, you commit it. So you have to be careful. So the Prophet ﷺ said, may Allah's mercy be upon the women of Ansar. The shyness does not stop them from asking questions. So they used to come and they asked the Prophet ﷺ. So we should learn and teach these things as well. We should not feel shy about it. Because the Prophet ﷺ said this is from the deen. And when we learning from the Prophet ﷺ, this is part of our deen, and that will make us straight on the path of Jannah, inshallah. So this is permissible. And the Prophet ﷺ, as Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says that the Prophet ﷺ used to kiss me while I was fasting and he was fasting. So it is permissible. One of the conditions ulama has made, and that is in amin al-imna. If he has control on himself that kiss will not lead him to the sexual relationship. If there is a doubt, he should not do it. He should avoid it. But if there is no doubt, he can do it, there is no problem. Some of the people then made the differences by saying it is allowed for the old people, not for the young people. Okay? No, Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she was young. She was just 18 when the Prophet ﷺ passed away. She was young. Okay, so these all are just man-made conditions. So man-made conditions should not be there, because the Prophet ﷺ, why we said that there should be no fear of falling into the marital relationship, because the consequences are very severe. And why we are saying this, the Prophet ﷺ said to one of the Sahabi, "Amma wallahi inni la atqakum lillahi wa akhshakum lah." By Allah, I am very afraid of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I have full consciousness about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that will not lead me to fall into the bigger sin. So this is what is permissible. So Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she was asked, "Ma yahillu lirrajul min imra'atihi sa'iman." What is allowed for a man from his women, means from his wife, for a husband from his wife, while she's fasting? So he said, "Kullu shay illa al-jima'." Everything except having the marital relationship. Okay? So this is permissible. That will not like break the fast. Inshallah. Is it clear?
Has it happened that for the young and old men, that a young man came to the Prophet ﷺ and said, "Can I, for example, kiss my wife?" He said no. Another old man said yes. Hasn't this story happened?
It was not about kissing, it was about touching the private parts. So the stories are different.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Okay?
Because the other
Yeah.
Sahaba asked the Prophet, "Why did you say to the young man you can't?"
It was not about kissing, it was about touching the private parts.
Yeah, yeah.
So the Prophet ﷺ, to one person he said, it breaks your wudu, and for another person he said, "Aduwwam min udwuk." So this is one of the...
Not that worrisome. They both were fasting.
Uh-huh.
So he said to the young man, yes, you can. I mean, you can for the young man. And the old man said, no, you can't. Sorry. For the young man, you can't have a kiss or touch things like this. But for the old man, yes, you can. Then Sahaba asked the Prophet, why did you say to the young man, the old man this? He said, the young man he can't control himself, but the old man can control himself.
Allah knows best. But the book which I am following, Fiqh Sunnah here, in that one he mentioned that فَظَهَرَ بُطْلَانُ قَوْلُ مَنْ فَرَّقَ فِي ذَلِكَ بَيْنَ الشَّيْخِ وَالشَّابِ لأن وبطلان قول من قال إنها مكروهة وكانت عائشة رضي الله تعالى عنها إذا مات النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بنت 18. So based on that one he said so. Okay. Barakallahu feek. Are we happy so far? Okay, let's move forward inshallah. Taking showers or putting water on your head. In this country, alhamdulillah, so the weather is not very, very hot, so we don't feel it. But when you are in the countries where temperature is nearly 50, then you need this one. So so that will not break the fast. The Prophet ﷺ, first of all, the Prophet ﷺ, when he wakes up sometime, he had to take the shower. So first he eats and the fasting started, then he take that shower. So taking shower is permissible in general. The second thing is, the Prophet ﷺ, some of the Sahaba narrate that لَقَدْ رَأَيْتُ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم بِالْعَرْجِ يَسُبُّ عَلَى رَأْسِهِ الْمَاءَ وَهُوَ صَائِمٌ مِنَ الْعَطْشِ أَوْ مِنَ الْحَرِّ. He has seen the Prophet ﷺ putting water in his head out of thirst and out of the heat. So it is permissible. So some of the people say, oh no, it's not permissible. These all are man-made rules. We don't want man-made rules. We want the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it is allowed to take as many showers as you want. It is allowed to put cold water on your head if needed. That will not break your fast. Are we happy with that? Inshallah. Okay, let's move forward.
What about swimming?
Swimming. If you have, if there is no fear of going water or drinking water, that's fine. Same thing applies. Okay. So yeah. But if there is a fear of water going inside and things like this, then you should avoid it. Okay, inshallah. And rinsing the mouth and cleaning the nose. So the Prophet ﷺ said it is permissible without exaggeration. So the Prophet ﷺ, the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ says, وَبَالِغْ فِي الْإِسْتِنْشَاقِ إِلَّا أَن تَكُونَ صَائِمًا. In rinsing your mouth, all the time we should make it more like deeper. When you are taking the water, make it more deeper. Except when you are fasting. So when you are fasting, just clean lightly. Don't make it exaggeration. Don't pull the water inside, that it will go through your throat and inside your stomach. So while you are fasting, you are not allowed to make it very strong, but normal, that's fine. So normally when you are rinsing mouth and cleaning your nose, that's absolutely fine. That will not have the effect on your fasting. Okay. So this was the fourth thing so far we have done. Okay. And the fifth thing is this look very strange, but this is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and that is the, tasting food. Tasting food, that if you are just putting your finger and then putting on your tongue without letting that whatever you are touching go inside your throat, just tasting it. So if there is a salt or not, tasting it. So that is and then the scholar says yukrahu lis-sa'im. It is disliked for him to do it, but if there is a need to do it, then he can do it. Like for those people who are working in the restaurants, if there is a issue like this, so if they just want to taste it, they can put on their tongue and they can split it out. There is no problem. So this taste is same as sweet water or the salt water. That will be considered, as long as it is not going inside your throat. Okay. So this is what, but unnecessary you should not do it, avoid it, because that will lead sometime to you swallow it. So then that will be put in trouble. But if there is a need, especially for some of the women, if there is a need to taste while they are cooking, just putting on their tongue, that's absolutely fine. What happens, unfortunately, in many cultural issues, like many countries where women is cooking and the husband is zalim, and if the food is not good, he'll create trouble in home. Okay, here he will be thrown out so he can eat outside, but there he'll put in trouble. So at that time she is allowed to do that one. So that is lot of rahmah. So think about from that manner. Okay, so this is allowed, inshallah. Okay. The next one is hijama. Is hijama allowed or not? Hijama and blood donation. Blood donation. So in general, there are two hadiths of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and these two hadiths of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like based on that one, all the scholars has made their opinions. So there are two different opinions. So why? Because of these two hadiths. One hadith is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Aftarul hajim wal mahjum." The one who does the hijama and the one who has been done for, they both break their fast. This is one hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anna Nabiy sallallahu alaihi wasallam ihtajama wa huwa sa'im. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam himself did the hijama while he was fasting. So there are two hadiths of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay, two different hadiths. So based on that one, some of the scholars says no, it is not allowed. The others say no, it is allowed because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did it. So here, the way of combining both of them is from the sayings of Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, how they look at this matter. So some of the Sahabi, they were asked, like Anas ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala anh, he was asked, أَكُنْتُمْ تَكْرَهُونَ لِحِجَامَ لِلصَّائِمَ عَلَى أَحَدِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وسلم. He was asked, did you dislike hijama at the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam? So he replied, he said, لا إلا من أجل الضعف. No, in general, no, we didn't dislike it. We used to do it, except when there is a fear of weakness. If there is a fear of weakness and it is affecting your fasting, then it is not allowed. But if it is not, you are healthy, you do normally every time and it is not affecting you, that's fine. If you give blood, it's not affecting you, that's fine. So what the brother has said, the bleeding, sometimes the bleeding to the extent which affects yourself, affect the physical body, you lose the consciousness and things like this, then it will break your fast. Otherwise, it will not break the fast. Is it clear?
Is that same as perfusion?
What is perfusion?
It's when you put some water for you.
Put it inside blood.
When the blood come to you, yeah.
Oh, okay, it is coming, it is coming. Okay, it is coming. Is it clear so far? Okay? Okay, let's take the next issue, and this issue has 7, 8, 9, 10, 4 issues. The first is iktihal. Iktihal is, I don't know, is it mascara? Okay, or for the men, they put the surma. Okay, so al-ithmid, I think. Eyeliner, okay, so whatever you call it, okay. So what happens, the Prophet ﷺ, there used to be from the stone, they rub it and they take that one and they put. So people, it has a lot of benefits. It's in nature, it's really cold. The cold is when you put in your eye, sometimes people say that you feel that coldness in your throat. Okay, is it allowed or not? This is one. And then second is al-huqna, that is injections. Okay, is it allowed or not? Because something is going in your body. Third thing is al-qatra. Qatra is drops. Eye drops, ear drops, nose drops. So these drops. And the fourth one is shammut tib. That is smelling the perfume. What about this all? About this all, there is one hadith of the Prophet ﷺ about the iktihal, about the surma. Okay, so only that hadith is dhaif. It's really weak hadith. But other all four, there is nothing clearly mentioned from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Some of the topic of this one will be dealt in detail when you will have the doctor's session here, inshallah. There will be two different doctor sessions. One will be about your diet and things and medication, and another one will be from Bima, so a general, like Muslims and medication. So they will explain in very depth. Those scholars who said no, it will break the fast for this all, some of them said from your throat here, when your stomach starts. So anything you feel here, so it is like it gone in your stomach, and then it's like food or drink, and it break the fast. But the reality is it's not like this. It's not like this, because when you take, even you rinse your mouth, some of the water goes inside. Some of the water, the tissues absorb the water that goes inside. You don't even realize it. It's so tiny in its quantity. Similarly, when you put some of the drops in your eyes, some of them might go, but it's so tiny quantity, same as the water. So it's not considered as a water. It's not considered as a drink, neither food. So what breaks the fasting? We said in the beginning, eating and drinking. So this is not considered as eating as drinking. So based on that one, because there is no clear hadith of the Prophet ﷺ either, so whatever people have said, it is based on their understanding where the stomach starts from. So they said stomach starts from halaq. Some of them said anything reaching to your stomach, that's all considered as stomach. So based on that, so there is ikhtilaf, but the correct opinion is there is no problem in that one. Because the Prophet ﷺ said about the istinshaq. So when you put the water in, some of the water you can feel it inside. When you rinse mouth, you feel the water is going inside. So based on that one, this also comes, all this anesthesia, what is it called? Inhalers. This all come in this category. The details will come later on. But in this category, because when you take the inhaler, the amount of water goes inside, it's much, much lesser than when you rinse your mouth, when you clean your mouth. So based on that one, the scholars said, yes, it is permissible. Is it clear? Yes, brother.
I was just going to ask about inhalers.
Yeah, because it's very, very tiny bit of water. It's one drop will be divided into so many puffs. So more than that, it will be observed with your tongue. So based on that one, they said it's allowed. Okay. And the fatwa, the old fatwa to the new fatwa has changed a lot. In the long time ago, people used to say no, it breaks the fast, because the details were not known. So in terms of ihtiyat, better it break the fast. But now the details are known, how much it goes, where it goes. Nothing will go till your stomach. When you take this inhaler, the water does not, element will not go to your stomach. Okay, is it clear?
Is it permissible for the inhaler or just the above we mentioned?
Sorry?
Is it just the inhaler it's permissible or the rest?
No, these all are permissible. These eyeliners or surma, that's permissible. Injections is permissible, and the drops permissible. Smelling the perfume is permissible, because long time ago people said about the smelling perfume. They said when you smell the perfume, the fragrance will go to your mind, and they used to think there is a connection from mind to your stomach. At that time, they put their efforts and they said yes, there is. So based on that one, they said because it is straight away from your mind going to the stomach, that's why it is not permissible. That's why when you put bukhur, some of the people dislike bukhur. Oh no, don't put in fasting, while fasting. I was shocked first time when it was we put bukhur before the breaking the fast, and one of the brother came and he said no, not allowed. I never heard it, I never read about bukhur will break the fast. Then when I check all the bahas, so it was olden days. People used to think this bukhur will go to your brain, and from your brain there is a connection to your stomach. So that's why but there is not such a thing like this. So, and from the Prophet there is no clear hadith for that one. So why we should make something haram? Is Prophet did not make it haram. Yes, brother.
Is it same as inhaler to nebulizer? Inhaler and nebulizer, is it the same?
Yes, there will be, I think. But the best thing is a long list will come when there will be a fasting and medication presentation will be there. So long researches have been done, so it's mentioned there. So at that time, if you ask one more time, that will be much better, inshallah. Okay. So we did so far 10. Okay, 10 things which does not break the fast. Okay, let's take the 11th one, siwak, miswak. You can use the miswak. There is no prohibition from the Prophet ﷺ. And some of the people say no, you can do till Zuhr Salat, and then after Zuhr you are not allowed. This all are, people made it out of fear of something. But there is no clear hadith of the Prophet ﷺ used to do miswak all the time. And that leads to another thing. Can we use the toothpaste, while we are fasting? How many of you think yes? And how many of you think no? Good. Those who think no, why do you think no? Yes, brother.
I think.
This brother raised hand first. Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I think the test, you said previously, something going inside insignificant. In the case of toothpaste, it is when we are fasting for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In that case, I think paste can constitute significant amount.
Okay.
It tastes a bit, just a bit sweet, and we can feel it that it tastes a bit sweet.
Yeah.
And
So we just said, tasting is allowed or not? Allowed. So that answer your question then.
No, it is not the tasting amount. It is when you take
Okay.
the taste.
So if anything goes significant amount inside, like a drinking, is it break your fast. But if you use it, just the taste, you feel it, it will not break your fast. So it is allowed to use the, that's better, use siwak, that's better. But if you need to do it, you can do it. There is no harm in that one. As long as not to like exaggeration, which will lead things go inside your tummy. Does it make sense? Is it clear? Inshallah? Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When you brush your teeth and your teeth bleed, what happens?
Yes. It is coming next
Okay,
one.
sorry.
Okay, inshallah. In terms of questions, what we have done and what we are doing, ask about that. What we have not done, it is coming, inshallah. Okay. So, another thing is, very naturally, sometimes what happens, you clean your chest. So flame comes out. You clean your nose. Okay? You blow, you pull your nose inside. So then the flames come up. So what about if it goes inside? Does it break fast or not? It's natural. It's not deliberately. You are not taking deliberately. So it does not break the fast. Okay? So those who said, some of the people said it break the fast, but when you collect it in your mouth and then you swallow it as a water, then it is. But if it is natural, it will not break the fast. Okay? Because it's from inside, it is going inside. And same to that one, that was 12. Okay, the 13th one, same to that one, something which you don't have control over it, and it goes inside your mouth. Something you don't have the control. For example, sometimes the food is substance remain in your teeth. Okay, even you brush it, it is there, and after some time it comes out and it goes inside. You cannot even take it out, but it went inside. So you can't do anything. So it is not considered as a food. So it is baqaya ta'am, means it is the leftover of the in your teeth. On that one, that note, the bleeding. Inside bleeding comes, you don't realize it went inside with the saliva, there is no problem. It will not break your fast. But if it is significant amount and things and you can feel it and that time, then the question will come. But till that time, there is no question. Okay. And same thing to leading that one, if all those, the question for those people who said, the fragrance will break the fast. So the question was, what about if you are walking on the street and all the cars smoke and things goes inside? You don't have any control on that one. So it was baseless. So those sort of things also permissible. Okay. So it will not break fast. Is it clear? Okay. Yeah.
Our Egyptian teacher says there is a chewing gum that's available in Egypt that you can chew during Ramadan.
Oh. So very nice to start business then, inshallah. I don't know what she meant and how she meant that in Egypt there are some Egyptian doctors. Okay, there is a chewing gum available during the fasting.
No, they are not allowed.
They don't allow.
Yeah, they produce a huge amount of saliva, which is not natural.
Yeah.
And then you swallow them. So
Yeah.
it is haram.
This is what I was thinking as well, same time. Yeah, because when you chew something, so it will produce saliva, and then that is the deliberate. It's not like by nature coming. You are deliberately producing it. So I'm not sure on what basis she said it, but that is the answer, inshallah. Okay. Okay. The 14, 15, and 16 is again eating, drinking, or marital relationship, forgetfulness. Okay, so you forget completely, you drink the water or you eat it, so it will not break the fast. Okay, so and same time you forget that you are fasting and you fall into the marital relationship, it will not break the fast. Okay, if you remember it later on. Okay, so while eating, if you remember, just wherever you remember, you have to stop it. You cannot just finish it or swallow it. No, if you have done it and then you remember, then forgetfully, so it will not break your fast. Okay, and the 17th and last thing was vomiting. If somebody vomit without his control, so natural vomit comes out, so that will not break fast. We said if somebody does deliberately, then it will break the fast. But if it is not deliberate, then it will not break the fast. Are we happy with that? So 17 different aspects we have covered. Okay. Any question about this?
Go back to number 12 again, please.
Sorry.
Number 12.
Number 12. Was that chicken? Yeah, the flame. Yeah. So swallowing the flame. You know when you clean the chest, like sometimes you have, and then flames come up.
Okay.
So then it goes back inside. Does it break the fast? It will not break the fast. But you cannot collect it. Clear?
Yeah.
Check about putting endoscopes up the nose that goes into the throat.
Yeah.
Which means that you go inside the throat itself. Will that break the fast?
Me and Dr. Umar, we looked into that whole bahith. Okay, so there is some rules mentioned when it breaks, when it doesn't break, because with that one you put some sort of like smooth so there is a detailed of that one. So if it is like that, then it will break the fast. Okay, so I don't want to go in that one because there is a specific topic, and I leave that one for Dr. Umar.
I think when they are putting the tube, they must put a jelly.
Yeah, gel.
Make it
Yeah,
smooth.
yeah. So because of the gel, it break the fast. Yeah. Okay. Are you happy so far? All right. Okay. Let's move forward. Al-muftirun wa ahkamuhum. Okay. Those who don't fast and their issues. Okay. So when we say those people who don't fast in Ramadan, so sometimes some of them, for them it is permissible not to fast, and for them it is permissible to fast as well. So not to fast and to fast, for both are permissible for them. But some of the people are there, it is obligatory for them not to fast. So fasting is haram for them. There are some people like this as well. There is another category of them. And then there are some people, it is permissible for them to break the fast. But if they want to fast, they can fast. Does this make sense? So there are three different kind of people. Okay. So sometime based on the condition of the person, he can go from one category to another category. All right. So let's take the first one is marid, patient, ill person. Okay. So when we say the ill person, so the scholars has mentioned in general that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَنْ كَانَ مَرِيضًا أَوْ عَلَى سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. If somebody is marid, ill, or if he is on the traveling, so from the traveling you will understand this. Next we are talking about the musafir, the journey, okay, the traveler. So Allah says, فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرٍ. So he would fast in other days. Those days he missed, he'll fast the other days. Okay, and these sort of 2-3 ayats are there. So, but just to understand the principle, we understood that any ill person, he can fast some other time. So when we say the ill person, so those ill person are three kind of people. So one who have very light illness in the sense that he has a migraine, or those sort of light thing. Okay, so it is not affecting him. Okay. Or he has cold, okay, he has cold, or sometimes his leg is hurting, or some pain in the body. So for this person, it is permissible for him, because of the illness, that he can break the fast. It is permissible for him. But better for him to fast, because these things are not very severe. Better for him to fast, but he can make that excuse and then he can fast another day. This is one sort of person. The other person is, if he fasts, then his illness will go severe and the chances of his getting better will be delayed. So in that time it is not allowed for that person to fast, because it will affect him very badly. It's not allowed for him to fast, okay? And then also, if somebody is there, if he fasts, it will lead him to destroy himself or kill himself or put him in very dangerous situation. At that time it is haram for him to fast. Does it make sense? The first person, he was allowed to either fast or either not to fast or break at that day, okay, because of his light illnesses. The second person, it is better for him not to fast because it will get severe, the pain will get severe, the illness will get severe. It's better for him not to fast, he can fast later on. But the third category is haram for him to fast, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لَا تَقْتُلُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَ, don't put yourself in destruction. So this will lead him. And then the Prophet ﷺ clearly mentioned that, that when I order you something, do as much as you can. If you cannot do it beyond your capability and it is affecting you, then you should not fast, okay? Is it clear? Inshallah. So this is about the person who is ill. And just on side note, this shows us how merciful are the teachings of Islam. So it's not like everybody fast. It would be in the previous nations, some of the people make their religion so difficult that they fast continuously for days and days and days. And if they got ill, and if they have some issues, wounds and things, and the wounds have the like insects inside, even if they can see those insects, they don't used to go to a doctor for the treatment. They say, oh, this came, so I am happy with the qada of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made Islam, the teachings of Islam, very balanced, okay. This is the first category. The second category is musafir. Musafir is the traveler. So the first, we have to understand who is the traveler. In general, there is no clear number from the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that who is the traveler. The base, everything is based on the qiyas. Qiyas is the Prophet travel, or that Sahabi travel from here to here, that took him this long, or they took him, it was that much far, and based on that one they have calculated the number. So the most famous opinion is 48 miles, which is around 84 kilometers. So if somebody travel 84 kilometers, so then he will be considered as musafir, as the traveler. This is one opinion. The second opinion is, no, you cannot make like this, because what they said, the traveling for 48 miles or 83 or 84 kilometers, there will be a time when the cities will become that big. So you are still in the city and you will be considered from one side, one corner of the city to another corner of the city. It will be 48 miles. So what do you consider that as traveling? So what they said, the scholars, another opinion came. They said, whatever in that culture people consider is as traveling, that will be traveling. If they don't consider it as traveling, it will not be that traveling. And normally in these days, in more with modern ways of traveling and things like this, I personally prefer this opinion rather going, because the both opinions are based on qiyas. There is no clear teaching from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This all Prophet traveled from here to there, and this was this long, it took this time. So that's why they said, okay, it is 48 miles. And some of them said a little bit less, some of them said a little bit more. But majority of the scholars says 48. But the other opinion says, no, whatever is considered as traveling in your urf, in your culture. This is the first. Okay. if you are traveling somewhere, how long you have to be there and how long you will be considered as a traveler. So then again, lot of opinions, some of the opinions are only 4 days. If you are staying there more than 4 days, then you have to fast, because you will be considered as like a resident of the city, not as a traveler. Some of them said 15, some of them said 12, some of them said 14. Everybody have some sort of dalil for that one, and this all dalils again goes back to the qiyas. There is no exact number mentioned in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then some of the people said, once he leaves the country, his place, and he's going and he's staying there for whatever he's doing, so he's a traveler until he comes back. So this is another opinion. Even he knows he's here for 2 months, but he's not belong to that place, he's going back. So they said he's the traveler. This is another opinion. In this regard, there are two things. There are two different things we have to understand. Another important thing is, if you go to another country or another place, whichever you call it traveling, another city, and you are staying there for some sort of job to be done, but you don't know how long this job will take. In that regard, the clear hadith of the Prophet is, as long as you are not sure how long you will stay there, it might finish tomorrow, day after tomorrow, a week, you don't know about it. So your intention is, as long as the job finish, I'll go back. And you don't know when it is going to finish. So as long as you are in that situation, you are a traveler. There is no doubt about it. But the other opinions, they all are qiyas. So whatever you feel comfortable with, you can take it. 4 days, 10 days, 12 days, 14 days, 18 days. So whatever you feel it, you can take it. Okay. So this is the musafir. Does it make sense? Okay. So when you are a traveler, then what will happen? Fasting is one of the concession you'll get. When you are praying, you can combine 2 salats. While traveling, you can combine Zuhar and Asr and Maghrib and Isha, and you can shorten them as well. So shorten as well. So all 4 rak'ah salat, you can do it 2 rak'ah. So Zuhar, Asr and Isha, you can make 2 rak'ah. Okay. So this is a benefit Allah has given for those who are traveling. Okay. So let's take now for the musafir. If anybody is traveling and if he fasts, is his fast valid or not? It is valid. If he is fasting, it is valid. There is no problem about that one. But what is afdal for him, to fast or not to fast? What is more worshipable for him? Huh?
Not to fast.
How many of you say not to fast? And anybody who will say to fast? Yeah, to fast? Okay. Okay. Not to fast is worshipable, because this is the gift from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah loves that His gifts are taken. So you have choice not to take the gift, but it is better not to take the excuse and then okay. And then the scholars has given some more details about it. What they have said: if you are traveling and the fasting is difficult for you, okay, and it will stop you from many things, doing many things fast. So at that time, it is better for you not to fast. Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing. And why they said this? There is the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Based on that one, they said what has said that the Prophet ﷺ have seen in one of the traveling. They were traveling and they saw a lot of people are gathered around one person. So he went and he said, "Why these all people are gathered here?" So they said, "Oh, he's fasting and he got kind of not unconscious but weak and he fall." So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Laysa min al-birri sawm fi safar." It is not like from the worshipable act that somebody fast while he's traveling. So in that case, if it is affecting you, you don't fast. Okay. And then the Prophet ﷺ also said that tomorrow you are going to meet your enemies in one of the battlefield. Okay, when they were traveling. So wal fitru aqwa lakum. If you don't fast, that is better for you, because you will be powerful at that time. You can fight in the battlefield. So in those sort of things, you will not fast. This is first thing. The second thing about the traveler is that it is difficult for him to fast, but it will not affect his routine work. He's traveling, while traveling, whatever work he's doing, it is difficult for him, but it will not affect his good deeds, the other good deeds. The first one, it was affecting his good deeds as well. So in that one, it's better not to fast. So here, because it is not affecting his good deeds, so if he fasts, that is better. Why they said it? Because in general terms, وَأَن تَصُومُوا خَيْرًا لَكُمْ. So if you fast, that is better. But even if you think, no, this is a gift of Allah, I will not fast, that's also better. Does it make sense? Okay. And then the third category is, sorry about that. If the traveling is making him so tired and so difficult that he is in trouble, he can't fast, he can't do anything at that time, it is not allowed him to fast. Same as the marid, which illness is going very severe and it will taking him to like problem. So then what happened? The Prophet ﷺ on the day of Fath, Yawm al-Fath, Fath of Makkah, victory upon the Makkah, the Prophet ﷺ saw they went and then the Prophet ﷺ called for a like it happened in Ramadan, so many people were fasting. So what the Prophet ﷺ did, he called the mug of water and then he drank from it, and to show the people that I am not fasting. We're traveling, I'm not fasting. But some of the people, they fasted. So the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ulaik al-usat, ulaik al-usat." Later on, when they got very weak, so the Prophet ﷺ, these are the disobedient people, these are the disobedient people. So in that case, you will not fast, because it was affecting them, and they went for a purpose, and that purpose was not getting fulfilled. Okay, so in traveling, these all things are fast. In these all things will be considered. Okay, are we happy so far? Okay, a few more issues regarding traveler. First, if you are traveling before Salatul Fajr, there is no doubt you cannot fast. But what about if you are traveling daytime? Okay, like 11 o'clock in the day, you have your flight. So should you fast from the morning till 11 and then you'll pray? No. No, because what happened? Some of the Sahaba, radiyallahu ta'ala anhum ajma'in, they said like they said that they were in the house. They were in the house, and it was daytime, and they didn't start the safar, but the fasting started. So they said, "Okay, give me my food first before I travel," and then they eat, and then they travel. So it's not necessary that you start traveling then you fast. But if you are fasting that day, that's it. So that is enough for you, inshallah.
So, can I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
If I take the other side, so you start traveling, say morning time, you reach to the destination, or you come back actually to your home.
Yeah.
So like Asr time or Dhuhr time. Yeah? So still people are fasting, and you started journey and you arrived. So that during that period, what it is?
For you, you are not fasting, but better not to eat openly. Okay, this is again manners. But if you have to eat it, you can eat it. There is no problem. Islamically, there is no problem. But out of the manners, it looks bad on the people. Is it permissible or not? Is it permissible to eat? But out of the manners, no. Does it make sense? Inshallah. Okay. Okay. When this fasting concession will finish? Okay. It will finish when he will go to any country, any other city, and he says, "I'm staying here now." So he made that intention. As soon as they met, so the chance of iftar is finished. He has to fast from that. Okay. Or the muddatul iqama is finished. The muddatul iqama is the time of staying is finished. So if you take the opinion of 4 days or 15 days or 18 days, whichever opinion you have taken, all the opinion are based on qiyas. Whichever you have taken, if that time is finished, then you have to start fasting. Does it make sense? Okay. And once he returned to his country, that's it. His traveling is finished, so he can start fasting. Okay, so that was about Musafir. Are we happy with the traveler, Musafir? Alright, okay. So let's take the old person or the old lady who cannot who cannot fast, very old. Okay. So for them it is okay to not to fast. But instead of fasting, what they can do? They'll give the fidya. Okay, 1 day fidya. And what is this fidya? Fidya is food. Last time somebody asked how many meals it has to be for a day. So it's actually in terms of meals, some of the scholars said 2 meals. Okay, they said breakfast and dinner will be sufficient. But some of them said whatever you eat whole day, so calculate that one and give that one. And then some of them said it has to be 1 saw of wheat and things like this. So different opinion. But the best thing is if you take for 1 day, whatever you eat, this is what I urge people and tell people, because in little bit of your generosity can benefit a lot. So the generosity is if you are supposed to fast for whatever reason, you are not fasting today and you have to give the fidya, so how much you spend for your food 1 day? Calculate that one and give that one to the pauper. Maybe here 1 person, there 1 whole family can eat for a whole day or more or a week. Okay, so it's entirely up to you. But if you want to calculate the amount of food in the other countries' currency, that's absolutely fine. But I would say because it is Ramadan, the Prophet ﷺ was very generous at that time, so give with generosity, inshallah. Okay.
So is that for 1 person per day? Is that right?
Yeah, 1 person per day per fast. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How old? How to define old person?
Old person, when he is not capable. There is no age limit. There is no age limit. Subhanallah. Some of the people, they are in their 80s or close to 90s, but they fast, and they are absolutely fine with fasting. So this entirely person to person it differs. Okay. And the same thing for old man and old women. Okay. And about the marid, we have already spoken about the marids who cannot get better. So there is no hope for his to get better. So he'll give the fidya. Okay. And then same thing will apply for pregnant women. If the pregnancy is getting affected by fasting, so she would give fidya. And for breastfeeding women, so those who are milking children, so then those also same hukum. They will just give the food. They will not fast, because it will affect their health and affect the baby as well.
That differs, doesn't it?
Sorry?
It differs on the individual's health.
Sorry, again?
So I'm saying it differs on the individual's health.
In general, it will affect. In general, the general ruling is, yes, it is individual the personality, but in general, if the pregnant woman does not eat whole day something, it will affect her and baby. And at those days, she needs a lot of nutrition, so that will affect the baby. So the general ruling is, yes, she will not, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given her this permission. Okay.
So do they make it off, or do they just hold?
Okay. So they will I was coming to that one. So first is qada. So they will do the qada. Whenever they will get better, they will do the qada, and they will give the fidya as well. So the one opinion is both. Another opinion is no. Once they give the fidya, that's enough. They don't have to make up. Okay. But al-ahwat, the best is, if they get the chance to fast, they should fast. So this is the best, inshallah. Okay. And for each day, 1 miskin, as you have asked.
Also, they feed somebody 1 person per day.
Yeah.
So,
and then make up as well. So there are different of opinions among the scholars. One of them said just fidya, and another said just qada, another said both. Okay. So better to do both. Allah knows best.
That's the same applies for breastfeeding in the women.
Yeah.
Sheikh, about feeding 1 person per day, what about if a person cannot afford it?
Huh?
About feeding 1 person per day, if a person cannot afford it.
He will. Look, in Islam, if you cannot afford it, as we heard last time, if you cannot afford it, then there is no problem, like the obligation. But if you are healthy, then you can make up the fast. If you're not healthy, those who are very old and there is no chance they will fast, or ill person, there is no chance he'll get better, for them then there is no issue, because they cannot afford it. So if they can't afford it, they cannot do it. Okay?
I think in that case, in terms of financial inability, that answer lies with the previous Sheikh said that if you would fast, how much would you spend? I think that will answer. Right? If you would fast, so then one day or 2 days, 3 days. Yeah? So for you, probably that is.
So it depends on the. But if they cannot do it at all, because if somebody is dependent on other people's like support and help, at that time the matter can be different. If some circumstances come like this, so there should not be a general ruling for it. That person should go and ask his own imam, and he will take the fatwa at that time. Okay? So specific cases separate, inshallah. Okay? Alright. And those women who are in their menstruation period or post-bleeding period, if they have to fast, what they will do? Same thing again, that they have to make up some other days, and they have to give. So this is another thing for them. Okay, now about the sister women, if they get sorry, maybe my next thing will give answer for your question.
Right, okay, can I ask you anyway, just in case it is? You know, when that time of the month for a female, I know that they have to make it up, but they have to give as well.
Okay, what we said, if they make up, there are 3 opinions of the scholars in that one. Some of them said, if you just make up in another day, that's enough. Some of them said, if you give the money, that is enough. So some of them said fasting is, qada is better, and then the third opinion is both.
That's for menstruating women.
For all 4. For 4 types of women, okay? Does it make sense? Okay.
Which one would you advise for?
For British people, I advise both. Okay. Okay. If the women get pure from her menstruation period, it stops during the daytime of fasting. So what about it? Will she fast from that time to day? No. As we have spoken, as the suffer in the daytime, what? It is permissible to eat, but better out of the respect of others, don't eat openly. Okay. The same thing. And if some women get pure before Salatul Fajr time starts, before the ending of Suhoor time, okay, before that one, if she gets pure, so what about it? So her hukum is same as the one who had to take the shower. Okay, so we talk about it, marital relationship or the wet dream, so same thing for them as well. They will do the suhoor, they will start fasting, and then they will take shower and carry on with them. Okay? Okay. Is it permissible for the women to take the tablets to stop their menstruation period for fasting? So scholar says it is not necessary, because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you some concession, so don't do it. But in terms of Hajj, some of the scholars has permitted that one only because the dates are fixed to go back. The flights cannot be missed and changed, and it will create bigger problem. So that's why there they have given permission, but in this one they said no, there is no need to do and put yourself in difficulty. Okay. Another thing is, it's not menstruation period, not post pregnancy bleeding or anything like it, but some women, we talked about that last week, they have just bleeding. So it's not like a monthly cycle. It is just ordinary bleeding. So they have to fast. That is considered as an illness, and that need to be treated, but they have to fast. Okay. Okay. Another thing is, general ruling, if somebody feels that if he fasts, it will affect him and it will destroy him, or it will put him into the more trouble and things, so what about him? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, as we spoke before, that he should not fast, because if it is for sure, but if somebody is just being afraid, this might lead to me this, then that is not the valid reason. If it is the valid reason, doctor is saying, yes, it will affect you, this, Like there are some people on the medicine and things, they have these issues. So at that time they can break the fast.
Like that diabetic.
Yeah, people with the diabetic and things, yeah.
If they can't fast if they're healthy.
Sorry?
They can't fast if they're healthy.
Yeah, if they are healthy, they can fast. And if they are fasting, if their health is going bad, they can break the fast because of that reason, okay? Okay, just this is known to everybody. Man la yajuzu lahul fitr. Those who are not allowed to leave the fast, they have to fast. So who are these people? Every Muslim who reached the age of puberty, who have his full senses, he's not married, not ill, he's not traveling, and the women who is not in their menstruation period or things. So they have to fast. They have to fast. So somebody asked me last time, what about those who are doing GCSEs and things? Okay, so you can make the decision now. So you have enough knowledge, inshallah. So it's individually, if somebody you think it is making them suffer or something like this, it will health-wise and things, then it is okay. But if it is not health-wise, just you are thinking, and then there will be no concession for them. Yeah, Allah knows. Are we happy so far? Okay, few things left. So if we do it, so whole bit will be finished, inshallah. Is okay? Okay. What about the qada? So if somebody break the fast without any reason, he just break the fast. So for them, Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu ta'ala says, "Man aftara yawman min Ramadan min ghayri uzrin wala rukhsa lam yujzihu siyam dahr kullu." He says that if somebody unnecessarily he break the fast without any problems, without any issues, so even if he fast whole life, okay, he will not be able to get that reward, because that reward was fixed reward in the fixed day. So we should not break the fast. But those people have to do qada. Qada is there to tick the box that you have made up in other day. So you tick the box. But will you get the same reward? No. Just it is the tick the box that you have completed the day. Okay. This first. Okay. Qada Ramadan. You know, those you have to make up the fast. Does it have to be straight after Ramadan, or you can do any time? So you can do any time till the next Ramadan. You can do at any time. Okay. Okay. Those who are, if somebody have to do 4 or 5 fasting, like a traveling person or the women or something, they have to do. So do they have to do in other days continuously? Or they can do one day now, one day another week, one day another week. So they can do another day. There is no need for continuation in that one. They can do as per their ease. This is, I'm just not mentioning the dalail now. Okay, I'm just moving by just mentioning the issue and the hukum about it. Okay. Okay. If somebody dies and he has the fasting upon him, so what about that one? If somebody died and he has the fasting. So there are different opinions based on the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If somebody died and he had to fast, if it was obligatory fast, and he willingly did not fast, then there is no problem. Because if he didn't bother, why somebody else will bother? Okay, so there is nothing. So on that one, laisa lil insani illa ma sa'a. For the human being, what he has done only. So somebody else cannot do it. Okay, because he did not bother. But somebody, he was bothering, and he wanted to do it, but his illness didn't allow, or something like this. So, and there was no chance for him to pay the qada, the fidya as well. So his children, what they can do, they are different of opinion in that one. So if that fasting is the fasting of Ramadan, or the fasting of Nazar. Nazar is something he made obligatory upon himself. That if my son passed the exam, I am going to fast 3 days. That 3 days, Allah did not make farz on him. He made farz on him. It is allowed. It is allowed to do like that. Okay, but Allah didn't make it. So he did it on himself. So why I am differentiating? Because the scholars have differ in the hukum as well. So what they have said, that if it is the Ramadan fasting, then if they give the fidya, that is enough. they don't have to fast. If it is Ramadan fasting, if they give the fidya behalf of their father, that's enough. Or mother, those deceased ones. But if it is the, man-made obligation fast, so the promised fast, another fast, then their inheritance should fast. The children should fast. Some of the children should fast. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he has said that sama anhu waliyuhu. So warathatuhu. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said his waratha will fast behalf of him. As a lady came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and she asked about my mom supposed to fast but she couldn't fast. So can I fast about behalf of her? So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has permitted her to fast. Okay. Man mata wa alayhi siyam sama anhu waliyuhu. This is the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Does it make sense? Huh?
Like check if I got that right. So if somebody dies,
yeah,
if he's Ramadan fast, then his children can feed some people for him. Is that right? But we don't have to,
this is one.
So, but we don't have to fast.
No. Okay. There is another opinion of that one. Okay. Let's go back to the opinion. The first opinion. He died. The account is closed. Nothing will be fast behalf of him. This is one opinion. The second opinion is, it will be fast about him, the nazar. The nazar one will be fast and the Ramadan will be just fidya. Okay, this is the second opinion. And the third one is that nazar will be fast and qada will be forgotten. Because he could not do it, so then there is no fidya either. So there are three different opinions. And all of them has some of the dalail with that one. So the best one is that another one you have to fast. Okay, that is better. But if it was Ramadan one, if he was willing to fast and he couldn't do it, then you can fast behalf of him. If he was not willing, then don't bother about it. And if you don't want to fast, you can just give the fidya. And this all the wali is the varatha, those who inherit him, they all have to do this if there is a big condition, if they want to do it. It's not obligation on them. But it's good for them to do behalf of their father.
But if they fast, but we don't have to feed anyone.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to. This is all of them are different opinions, so you can take any opinion in that. Does it make sense? All right. Okay. So this was about those people who died. And the last thing is, just very quickly, some of the willingly fasting. So when you need to fast and when not. So 6 days of Shawwal, okay, is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ to fast. In the month of Muharram, the first month of Islamic calendar, the Prophet ﷺ gave a lot of virtue about it. Afdalus siyam ba'da shahrullahi ba'da Ramadan shahrullahi al-haram. So the Prophet ﷺ said that the best fasting after Ramadan is the Shahrullah al-Muharram, the month of Allah, which is Muharram. In Muharram, as many fasts as you want to fast, you can fast. This is recommended. And especially the Ashura, the 10th of Muharram, and adding to that 10th of Muharram, 9th one, as the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And some of the scholars says if it is not 9th, then 11th one. So the 10th of the Ashura, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave success to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam or Fir'aun at that day. So just we follow our Sharia is most closest to the Sharia of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. That's why we follow as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said. So this is another fast. And then in Sha'ban, you should fast a lot, as the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam has been mentioned. Aisha radiallahu ta'ala says the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam never fast complete month except Ramadan, and most of the month except Sha'ban. So as many as you want to fast, you can fast. Okay. Only regarding this one, specifying 15th night of Sha'ban only. Specifying 15th night of Sha'ban only. Ayyamul Bid 13, 14, 15 is recommended. These 3 days are recommended in the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It will come, okay? That is recommended. If somebody is fasting every month, the Ayyamul Bid, he can fast at that time. But only in Sha'ban, some people fast, so there is no hadith, there is no virtue about that one at all. So this is considered as a bid'ah because the Prophet ﷺ did not specify that one day to fast. if you are specifying it, and in most of the parts of the world, people specify that night and they fast, and in the night they wake as well. So the hadith is hadith about that one is very weak hadith. That fast 15th day and be awake in 15th night. This is very weak hadith, and it goes to the extent of fabrication. So it's very weak. So specifying the day is not permissible. Okay. And then some of the people say, oh, after mid of the Shaban don't fast. No, the Prophet ﷺ used to fast most. You can fast it only Yawm Shak. You are not allowed to. One day before Ramadan, you are not allowed to fast. Okay, just to give the gap between Shaban fast and Ramadan fast. Okay, and then the day of Arafah, fasting day of Arafah, highly recommended. And then every Monday and Thursday, so new campaign is starting in the masjid, like warm up for Ramadan. So fasting every Monday and Thursday. So there will be everybody will be fasting. So very good culture. So inshallah, this is another sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to fast. And then, as I mentioned, Ayyamul Bis, 3 days every month. This is also fasting. And about willingly fasting, this is all non-obligatory fasts. So about that one, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has we learn in the niyyah. In the niyyah can be made anytime, one night before and in the daytime as well. You can make the niyyah of fasting, as we have dealt in the first day. And also about that one, those who are fasting in those days, they are the amir of themselves. They are the leader of themselves. Whenever they want to break, they can break. There is no sin about it. Does it make sense? Yeah, willingly fast. This is all what we have mentioned. This one, and if any other fast you want to do it in general, okay, just you want to fast, okay. So when you are fasting, so you are amir of yourself. So for example, if you go with your friends for food and everybody is eating, you say, no, I am fasting. No, you need to break the fast, okay. You can break the fast. There is no issue about it, okay. You can fast another day, okay, because you are amir of yourself. There is no sin involved in that.
Did you see get reward?
Huh?
Did you see get reward of fasting?
Inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there to give the reward. It depends how much chicken you eat.
But you have to make it up.
No, you don't have to make it up. This is a voluntarily fast. You don't have to make it. Okay, you are amir of yourself. You can break anytime, as the Prophet said.
And that intention only applies for the voluntary, isn't it?
Voluntarily fast. Yeah. What we have mentioned, just these all are the voluntary fast. Except, just put another word other than Ramadan. Okay. Okay. Then some people might come this question. I have some fasting on me from Ramadan. Can I fast? Do I have to fast that one first before I do voluntarily fast? No. You can do the voluntary fast like Monday and Thursdays or 3 days every month. You can do it every month. And this Ramadan fast you can do before Ramadan, next Ramadan, anytime. You can do it, okay? So it's not that you have to do this before you fast any voluntary. There is no tartib, there is no sequence in that one. You can fast it anytime.
Can you make double intention? But it's a better to make up the other ones fast though.
No, you can do anything. Because Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she says, the previous Ramadan fast I used to fast just before Ramadan starts. So it does not mean she didn't fast Monday, Thursday and the other days, okay? Yeah, no double concessions here, inshallah. Okay? No double concessions. Everything is separate. Okay. Only in double intention. Sorry, I'm coming. Only in double intentions. If you come to Salatul Fajr in Masjid, so you didn't do your Tahiyyat al Masjid, and you didn't pray at home your 2 rak'ah of Fajr Sunnah. So at that time, only 2 you can double intention for that, and you can pray. You'll have the double reward for that one. Only that one. The other places, inshallah.
I think the problem comes in Shaban. You know those 6. You know when people fast 6.
Shawwal.
Yeah, I think that's when the intention comes in because those who missed on Ramadan.
No, yeah. So that's separate. Then Ramadan is separate. Okay. Inshallah. Yes, sister. What was your question? Yeah.
So we want to make a fast. Can we do on that day?
You can do on that day, but what is your intention? Intention has to be clear. Yeah, so make up fasting, you can make up in those days. There is no problem. You can do it, okay? Another thing very special for the sisters, that for all willingly fast, voluntarily fast, she has to take if the husband is at home, she has to take the permission from the husband. If he says, no, you're not allowed to fast, then you should obey him, okay? This is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Is it clear?
That even for qada of Ramadan day.
If he is there, if he's at home, then, you know, among this willingly fast or qada, because the qada, she has chance for whole year, and obeying husband, which is more obedient to Allah. So obeying husband has more reward than just fasting. Does it make sense? Inshallah, okay? Alright. This is done. A few of the days when fasting is not permissible. How many minutes left? 5 minutes? Azan time. Okay, so we'll just finish, okay? So few of the days which the fasting is not allowed. So 2 days of Eid, not allowed to fast. On the Eid day, not allowed to fast. You eat and drink. And after the Eid al-Adha, people call it Big Eid. You know, when you slaughter the animal. After that Eid day, 3 more days. It's called Ayyamut Tashriq. Ayyamut Tashriq. The Prophet ﷺ said, Ayyamut Tashriq, Ayyamu Aklin wa Shurb. These 3 days, extra 3 days, other than the Eid day. 10th is the Eid day, so 11, 12 and 13. So these are the 3 days you are not allowed to fast. Any willingly fast, you're not allowed to do that one. Because these are the days to eat and drink, okay? And only day of Jum'ah, selecting only Jum'ah is not allowed. The Prophet ﷺ has prohibited. Only Jum'ah. I'll fast only Jum'ah. If you're fasting Thursday and Friday, okay. Friday and Saturday, okay. Only Jum'ah, not allowed, okay? And then similarly, Ayyamu Shak. So, you know, oh, today Ramzan might have started, so I'll fast. No, that's not allowed. Ayyamu Shak, you're not allowed to fast. And then not allowed to fast every day. It's called Sawmud Dahar. All the time I'm fasting, every day I'm fasting. In Islam, you are not allowed to fast. The best is 1 day fasting. If you want to fast too many fast, 1 day fasting, 1 day not fasting. So that is the best one. Okay. And then also the fast of Wisal, it's called. The meaning of the Wisal is you don't do the suhoor. You start fasting in the morning. You don't break your fast and then till morning and then you eat. So 24 hours fast, that's also not allowed. Okay, so these were few of the things which were not permissible in terms of fasting. So Alhamdulillah, we have completed the chapter about the fiqh of fasting, the whole chapter from the fiqh of sunnah. And I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that whatever was correct and whatever was sound, this was from Allah, that Allah accepted from all of us. And whatever was like fault or the error or the mistake, it was from me and shaitan. May Allah forgive me for that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove the effect of it from our hearts. So we'll stop here inshallah. If we have any question, we'll take it. And then otherwise we'll start. Yes, brother.
So there's some people who take the fatwa that because the fasts are very long, they take the timings from Makkah or the other nearest Muslim country. What is the thing?
Okay, good, very good question. The brother has asked that some people say, oh, it's very long fasting. So because it's too long fasting, so we can go on timings from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock we'll fast. Okay, as long as, the scholar says, as long as in 24 hours, the sun is rising and sun is setting. Sun is rising and sun is setting, then that is not allowed. But in 24 hours, if the sun is not setting or rising, so it's all night or all day, more than that, at that time, you are allowed to take the timings from another country. Okay, it's completely, as we talk about taking the, you know, the moon sighting and things from other countries, similarly, from the same principle goes, the closest country or Makkah and things like this. But if in any 24 hours, if there is a day and night, sun is rising and sun is setting, then it is not allowed. Some of the people, they brought a lot of issues like this. Oh, those people who are going, that these all are baseless, because baseless in the sense, the Sahaba, they bear that, you know, that hot summer there, and they fasted. There is no problem. So now they say, oh, it's so hot. Those people are very strong, and we are not, and so we should have this concept. No. Sharia from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from us. So we should not use our brain in ibadah. This is ibadah. Ibadah is at-ta'abbudi. The meaning of that one is, and tawqifi. The meaning of that one is, the command will come from Allah, you have to say sam'an wa ta'ah. I will listen and obey. There is no your own personal thoughts about that one. In ibadat. In other things, yes, you can consider all the other things, inshallah. Okay? Jazakumullah khair. Yeah.
Like if somebody collapses and unconscious, he's fasting, when he come back around, can he continue fasting?
Okay, there is a long details about that one. If somebody collapsed during the fast and if he was unconscious and he woke up, okay? If he woke up before the break of the fast and if you think that he is able to fast, he can carry on fast and that fast will be considered as fasting. But if he collapsed and for a day or two and things like this, then it will not be considered, he has to make it. Okay? So we stop here, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair for listening. There will be adhan and in few minutes we'll pray, inshallah. Barakallahu feek. Thank you very much. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.